Hey everybody out there in YouTube land, I'm John and I'm back with another video on my channel, Musings of a Marine. Hope everybody's doing well out there. Another Monday of just sitting around the house and relaxing. It is way too cold to go outside and do much of anything. And so I plan on just staying as warm as possible. Such is life here in the Detroit area. I don't know what the temperature is outside. It's in Celsius, maybe around -7 or -8, but either way, it's cold, and I'm definitely Filipino dreaming on a cold winter's day, that's for sure. But hey, I didn't come on here to talk about that. On Saturday afternoon, my family here in Michigan had our annual Christmas party. This party's been going on since 1966. First party, I was 3 years old, and now I'm 62. Just 59 years, absolutely amazing. And we only missed 1 year in all this time. It was because of COVID, obviously, in 2020. But a couple of incidents happened at this party that I just want to make this video about, because it just goes to show you how times have changed and kind of how some of us people, even my age, were pioneers as to how dating goes these days. Once the party got going, my cousin Stephanie showed up and we said hi and hugged, and she introduced me to her boyfriend. And we got to chatting, and I asked Stephanie how things were going. She's a nurse, and she works at a hospital not far from where I live. And then I asked her boyfriend what he did, and he said he was a physical therapist. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's nice. I certainly had to use that over the years. And I asked him where he did his physical therapy at. And he said, Maumee, Ohio. Well, for those of you who know geography, Maumee, Ohio is not anywhere near the Detroit area, and certainly not near Livonia, where Stephanie works. And I asked him, oh, okay. I says, where do you live? And he says, Maumee, Ohio. And I don't know if Stephanie still lives, as we call it, downriver from Detroit, which is south of Detroit. But I had to ask, I said, how did you two meet if you live so far apart? And the answer was a dating app. Okay, so, and nothing wrong with that. So a little bit later, my nephew Matt shows up with his new girlfriend. And mind you, I just want to say this. My cousin Stephanie is pretty. My nephew Matt is a good-looking guy. But of course, I asked Matt, how did you ask him and his girlfriend, how did you two meet? A dating app. And his girlfriend's rather attractive too. So, it's crazy. It used to be the attitude that, boy, if you needed to do something like that or answer an ad, as it used to be in the paper or whatever, some people thought you were a real loser that you couldn't meet people in the normal way. Well, guess what, everybody? The normal way now, more and more, is to, put aside all the nonsense, and going on a dating app is an easier and quite possibly better way to do it, because now you can find people with common interests who seemingly have the the kind of qualities that you're looking for. And so I really, really hope in the case of both of these couples that it works out. Matt and Stephanie are both, I think, in their early 30s now, and it'd be nice if they settled down. And who knows, maybe it'll happen. So anyways, that's what happened in the party there. And it got me to thinking. Some people wondered, how did my wife and I meet? And we met here in Michigan. And I often tell people, well, a friend introduced us. Well, for those of you who do not know, I am going to spill the beans. The Friend was a little magazine that you could pick up at a convenience store called Singles Network. Now, I was living with my cousin Bill at the time in his mobile home, and he actually had a subscription to Singles Network. And so he would have that little book lying around. And unfortunately, it never did him any good. He's still single, and he's my age. But anyway, I got to flipping through it one day, and I had actually gone on a couple of dates through that book already, and didn't find anybody in particular that I was interested in. But I saw this ad for this Filipino lady, and that's exactly the type of person I was looking for. So, having been to the Philippines twice already, having been overseas for 2 years while I was in the Marines, obviously my taste in women leaned towards Southeast Asia. So I answered the ad. And then a few months went by, maybe at least 2 months. And I didn't hear anything. And then I may have told the story before, but my cousin Bill and I and our two dads, we go to the NASCAR race that weekend. And the day before we went to the race, I got a letter from this lady whose ad I had responded to. And I couldn't help but think the whole weekend, man, maybe this is finally the one. And I kept trying to dismiss that idea. Nah, that's not. You've said that about so many women, and you're thinking, yeah, maybe this could finally be it. It's 1997, and I'm not getting any younger here. Okay, by this time I am almost 34 years old, and I couldn't get it out of my mind that, hey, maybe something will come of this. Well, we started corresponding once she sent that letter back, finally dated on July 6th. And I got her first letter in June, for the middle of June. And, the rest is history. We started dating. 8.5 months later, we got married. And we've been married, it'll be 28 years this coming March. So, you think these things don't work? Guess again. They do. And this happened back in 1997 is when I saw this advertisement that my wife had in Singles Network. And I can understand it perfectly. Obviously, you can go on the internet now and you can find thousands and thousands of Filipinos with ads, wanting to meet somebody. And maybe in some cases, preferably a Western man so they can escape poverty. But nonetheless, they just want to have a partner in life, maybe get married, have children. They used to refer to these advertisements as mail order brides. Well, that is clearly a misnomer. It doesn't guarantee marriage, and it doesn't mean that the lady even wants to marry you, but certainly they want to put themselves out there. And there's advertisements that men put themselves out there too. We as a human species, we're social creatures, at least most of us, and naturally we have the desire to partner up with somebody. And I'm so thankful that happened. And it doesn't always work out for people, but that's okay, because there's I think there's even a dating app out there called Plenty of Fish or something like that. If it doesn't work out for you, you can always try again. Obviously, my wife was not the first relationship I was in, and the one previous to her ended in disaster. So you put yourself out there and good things can happen. And that's exactly what happened for me. And that's exactly what happened for some other people that I know. And I do know of some other Western men and even American men who met their Filipino wives online. So it's so much easier. Like I said, not only do you get to pick and choose, which makes the chance better that you're going to be compatible, but it's hard to meet the people nowadays. A lot of people are more and more busy. Going to the bar and meeting your eventual girlfriend or wife is so rare. The music's loud, everybody's yakking, can barely even have a conversation. People generally meet, you got high school sweethearts, or you meet through a friend or through work or at a party. Even church gatherings, which unfortunately don't happen enough anymore. My mom and dad met on a hay ride that was sponsored by some young Catholic organization, encouraging Catholics to meet other Catholics. And my dad met a Lutheran, and they got married, and were married for a long, long time before my mom passed. So over 50 years. So who knows what might happen, but the good news is it does happen, and it doesn't really matter how or why. If you're happy with somebody and that's what you got to do to meet them, well, then God bless you, and I hope it works out, because nowadays it just gets harder. There's much more things going on in our lives. And because so many people are on the internet nowadays anyways, hey, might as well use that to your advantage. Might as well do something constructive while you're on the internet. If not for work, maybe to meet somebody. And here in Michigan this time of year, unless you're going out bowling or something, there's not a lot of activities that you can do. Maybe you're into hunting or skiing. I don't know how many women are into hunting out there, so good luck meeting somebody that way. But but if you're looking for a good old-fashioned Asian woman, there are just all kinds of apps out there that you can use, and websites, and meet people. And I think it's awesome, and I can't but hope that things will work out for all the people that I know that go in this direction to try and meet somebody, because, hey, why not? It worked for my wife and I, and it can work for them too. And so I just wanted to mention that today, because the stigma of, geez, you must be a loser if you got to find a mate that way, that's long over. That should have never even existed in the first place. I want people to come together. Everybody wants people to be happy if you care about them, and if somebody can come into your life and make it more fulfilling and make you happy, then I wish you all the best, and I hope it happens for you. So for all those single men out there, of course, I'm married to a Filipina, and if you want to be too, check out some of those sites. Go right ahead. Yeah, some of the women might be scammers, but you'd be surprised. I know of some stories that have worked out well, myself included, and therefore, hey, if you don't take the chance, nothing's going to happen. Sometimes my wife likes to say, well, let's just see what happens. And I always tell her, well, nothing's going to happen unless we take some action. So take some action out there, everybody, if you're looking for somebody in your life to fulfill your life. Because we are social creatures, and we need that. and that's the way God intended it to be. So I just wanted to bring that up. These two incidents happened at the party. I found them funny, but at the same time, they just speak of how things are nowadays. And still, when people are losing social skills by just texting people instead of face-to-face interaction, there's still people out there who want to meet somebody else, somebody special, to be a partner in their life. And this is a way to do it. And don't be afraid to try it. That's it. I'm John. Thank you for tuning in. I want to just say thank you to all the new subscribers and all the views I got on my last two videos. I appreciate it very much. And keep tuning in for more content, because I'm going to be on here a lot more often now that I'm semi-retired. Take care, everybody. God bless, and Semper Fi.